Right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Ready for Anything podcast. So today we're going to be doing another live client hot seat. So we haven't done one of these in 2 months. The last one we done was with Travis Brown last month, and that was actually on Zoom purely because Travis is down in England and we would have tried to get him up, but unfortunately we couldn't. However, today we're joined by one of our longest standing clients, Kieran Ingram. So basically, I've worked with Kieran since May 2021. And basically the journey he's been on is incredible. And this year he actually took on his biggest challenge to date. He ran the entire length of Scotland. We're going to be diving into all of that today, which is going to be incredible. But we're going to really dive into like where he came from, his attributes, and what makes him such a good client, because he really has got that white belt mentality, and he's always been the same since day one of joining the program. So let's get stuck into it. Mate, since coming into the program, like obviously you joined when it was back 2021, as I mentioned already. It was PLU at the time, Project Level Up. There's been a lot of changes since then. Like, how different is life now to back then joining the program?
See, to kind of put that into like even a paragraph, it's quite hard because it's a complete 180. It's such because I remember when we first had that first conversation on Instagram, I was pure coming out of work and like my mom was picking me up. Like I was still a pure wee guy. I was coming out of this printing factory like on a Friday afternoon, knowing that I was going straight to the pub, man, to go get mad and that stuff. And when I was chatting to you back and forth, and like from that point, you could see like stuff was just starting to change a wee bit. And I really do, like I do believe, like see if we never actually I never joined Project Level Up, I don't think I'd be in this position now, right? But I don't even think it would have even been possible to be in this position. Like we were talking about this last night in the Monday Reset call as well. Like my idea of success has changed so much over the times, and the biggest thing to me is like time freedom. And see, when I actually think about how my day-to-day life is now compared to back then, like working shifts, like early, back shift, night shift and that stuff, where I just was not in control of anything, to then now running my own online business where I am time free. So even just that kind of metric of how much success I've gained in that light over the past 3 years is just insane. And then even from like a physical standpoint, like as we were kind of talking about before, I couldn't even run the length of a fucking bus. To now obviously being able to run the length of Scotland, and even just like strength wise, like I'm just a different, sounds just stupid, but I'm just a different animal now across the board. And it's just from leaning into what was Project Level Up to now Ready for Anything at the time.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. I always say the journey from boy to man. Grey man, you were grey. I've got those pictures, man, that they were taking on a tatty. They're grey as well.
I still can't grow a beard, but
yeah, I know. I wish I could give you that, mate. I'll give you everything, mate, but I can't give you that.
Have you seen there's a wee roller thing?
What?
You can get
hairs
supposedly
on your face.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You can do anything, though, mate. There'll be see with like AI and stuff. I'm like, you can do anything. See that what's the Nike slogan? What is it? Anything is possible. I'm butchering this. Is it anything is possible?
I was just thinking, just do it.
It is just a bit something like I think they've got a few slogans, man. They've got a few, man. They've been about,
you know what I mean?
But like I always think about that, and it's like anything is possible, and I always think like anything is possible now.
100%.
And like I think that's one of the biggest things like I love instilling in so many guys and girls, especially like yourself, mate, is like this full sort of the way that it's became now with like Ready for Anything is it's not just like about being ready for anything physically or taking on a challenge or doing it. It's like a mindset that just oozes into so many other parts of your life, and it just makes you want to be better. It just makes you want to step up as a person. And the one thing I always say to people that really ties into what you said right there is that like obviously like you've done all of that work, like you've put all the plans in place, you've implemented everything, but a lot of people want things in other parts of their life, but they're not ready to do it because they've not built the confidence within themselves to do it yet. They've not actually proven to themselves. They've got too many limiting beliefs, too many behaviours that are holding them back, too many things that are like keeping them in the same spot. Like, what were your kind of behaviours, mate, that you would say were keeping you in the same spot to like where you were at? Because I know there was momentum there, and I'm not taking away from like, I know that you, as you said, mate, I'm not taking away and saying like none of this wouldn't have been possible without that. But what would you say were some of your sort of biggest limiting factors prior to working with me?
Again, I would obviously say that probably the biggest limiting factor would have been like the trust within myself, to be honest, because like if I think back to the time like 3 years ago when I was like 24, like you were just constantly lying, and just like even like down to small factors are just telling wee lies everywhere and then that kind of stuff, and just kind of like covering up your tracks. And see, when I just started to take like proper ownership of who I was at that time, like I just met myself where I was. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to trying to think like, okay, you need to be to X position or you need to be where you think you should be. Basically, instead of just going like that, right, okay, constantly try to like convince yourself you should be further ahead, I just kind of met myself where I was and just I was okay with it. And instead of like trying to be someone who I wasn't, I just sat there and went, right, this is where you're currently at. Stop telling yourself wee lies, stop telling people wee lies, and actually take complete ownership to why you're in this position. And then from that standpoint, I was actually able to kick on, because there was a lot of issues going on there. It's like when I joined Project Level Up, like I'd convinced myself that I wasn't still addicted. I was still going out every second weekend and just getting on it. Do you know what I mean? Like that still had a grip on me, but I was convincing myself I was okay because I went to the gym 4 times a week now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I think what we can tend to do is like, I see this in a lot of people as well. I see it with a lot of like people I've worked with as well. Like they get a small bit of success, and from that standpoint, they basically go, okay, right, I'm better, but now I bet you're not good. And that's where I was at. And I'd convinced myself like for a long while that I was good, but I wasn't better.
Yeah.
And that's where the kind of wee lies came in. And see, when I started to drop like the wee lies and actually be completely transparent with myself and take complete ownership of my situation, that was when everything started to really change. That was my biggest notice in that.
Yeah.
That was the worst habit I had that I just had to ditch.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do that. We always tell white lies, don't we? I have to catch myself out sometimes when I'm telling a story and I want to exaggerate it.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to exaggerate it, man. Like I want to.
What happens when you get excited?
Yeah, you want to say, even if it's just like one more thing, like you want to just be like, take 10 seconds off something, or like you want to like go. It's just funny how we do that, because like everyone's just a storyteller, aren't they? And they want to try and impress other people, and people aren't doing it to be bad. But like if you're not really aware of that and conscious of that, you can kind of kid yourself on. And I know, like I put a post up yesterday and you were laughing at it about the one about like how folk are always just like, everything's good.
Aye.
And you're not like saying that things are terrible. And for some people, a lot of things are. You don't know what you don't know at the end of the day. But like, it's this lack of humility and lack of like, you're always looking externally for reasons. And it's like a lot of folk go, no, I don't do that. And it's like, you're not saying that you're pointing the big finger of blame and going, it was that or this. It's like, but you're not looking within. And like, I think that's it's one of the things I admire about you, mate. And it's something I was actually saying to Ailey when I was writing down these questions today when we were having breakfast, and I was kind of going over it, and I was just saying like, I want to really showcase that, because it's one of the things I'll say quite a lot about you, is that like, you've just been that day one client since day one, even now. Even like just your cadence, the way you're back and forward with us, the way that, and it's not that you're like incapable of doing things on your own, it's just that like you've seen value in actually having that mentality and how it pays off big time. And I see people have that mentality, get success, and then drop it.
100%.
And then they just go like, they stop doing all the things that got them to there. And it's like, don't do that, man. Like, stop it. Like, and I remember this when I started out coaching, and I always remember like I'd done all like, someone was like that to me, like in the gym, like basically the guys gave you some advice. It wasn't any business help, it was like advice. And they were like, go and speak to folk on the gym floor, get this many consultations. If you get 10 consultations, you'll probably get 1 or 2 clients. So I was like, right, get 20 consultations a week. That's like 2 to 4 clients a week. So I had this like algorithm in my brain that like was so obvious to me. And I just started doing all the work, got up to like 20 sessions a week, and I just stopped doing it. Because I was like, literally, I've made it. I can kick my legs up. And because I didn't have the quality I didn't have the coaching skill, the know-how, the ability to get clients results. So I was actually like so naive to even believe that I hadn't earned the right to do that. So you have to do that. Like, I'm not saying that if you do that, you're a fool. Like, I've done it, and I will still, but I don't do it as much now, because I understand, even when I go into a new process, I know how important the process is. So like, even from like, I don't know, like even the other day when I literally finished an event at the weekend, and I was like, I do a race journal every single time now. I didn't want to do it, but I'm like, no, that's getting done this week.
It's part of what
it's part of what I do. It's part of my success algorithm. So even though it was a great race, I probably don't need to do it. And it's probably not going to be the thing that breaks the bank. If I continue doing that, it's always going to give me the competitive advantage. And because those things don't give you an instant return, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that is because of the kind of world we live in, where people are looking for that instant gratification.
Yep.
But like, even to kind of touch on that kind of side of things, what I've noticed massive over the past couple of years, that like delayed gratification is genuinely the key to success.
Yeah.
Like just doing the stuff you just don't want to do constantly. And I'm not saying like, again, this is quite funny, because I was talking to my guys about this last night, kind of about like, you need to kind of have like a growth through discomfort kind of mindset. And like, you need to understand that when you're going to train, when you get up in the morning, like, yeah, you don't want to bounce out in your first alarm and that stuff, whatever it is, right? But this is the shit that you need to do daily to, like, as you always say, man, build up that undeniable stack of evidence that you are who you said you're going to be. And like, if you're constantly looking for that instant gratification through whatever it is, your vices and that kind of stuff, you're constantly going to be feeling flat because you're not building up that evidence. And then this is where a lot of people fall short in the process. And there is always a process. Like there's always a person and a process, right? But most people will just get hooked up on like, okay, like, how do I get there faster? And you're like, no. Like, take your time with it. Focus on the long haul process. And that's where I genuinely believe that proper whole transformation comes from. Because anyone can transform their physique, right? By like skipping wee bits and bobs, right? But see, if you want to live in line with who you are and ultimately what's going to bring you joy and happiness, man, you need to understand that it'll take time, and change is hard. Do you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people fall short.
I don't think people understand change, man. Like, they just don't understand it. Like, it's like, I think the thing that holds people back for changing is what they think change is. And then actually when they're in it, and I had this conversation with a couple of people recently where it's like, I'm like, you need to stop being so accommodating to certain things because they're the things you need to change. Like when folk go, I love a night out, and I'm not saying you can never go a night out again, but see the nights out you're going right now and the way that you're behaving at a weekend, that is sabotaging yourself. Yeah, 100%. And folk are like, yeah, but like I don't want to cut that out. And it's like, I'm not telling you to stop ever consuming alcohol ever again, or I'm not telling you to stop doing this, but you need to recognise that the way that you're living right now isn't serving you. And that's down to an individual. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, some people's weekend antics and nights out and stuff, behaviours are totally different to someone else depending on where they're at in their life and stuff. But people are trying to be too accommodating, and then as a result of that, it's the thing that's actually holding them back.
I think as well, man, see, like to kind of touch on me like nights out, that's what I kind of say to a lot of my guys. It's like, if you're still having nights out that you had when you were 17 and you're 27 now, and the nights out still kind of look the same, something needs to change.
Yep.
Because you're not a teenager anymore. Like, you're an adult. Yeah. You can't be going out for like 2-3 nights on the bounce and that. Like, and again, if that's what you want to do, sound right. But if that's a consistent thing, then no wonder you feel like shit. Yeah. Like, you're not making progress. Like, no wonder. Do you know what I mean? It's the bottom line. I think as well, just kind of touching this before you obviously move on to a different point. I think a lot of people, like, see when it comes to change, and obviously what you're saying, their idea of change, it doesn't match up because they don't actually understand how bad things actually are. Do you know what I mean? We were talking about how, like, people get a wee bit of success and alright, cool. And I'm alright, you've made a bit of progress, but you're still not good. There's still a lot of demons in there. There's a lot of shit that needs sorted fundamentally. And see, when you actually highlight to someone how bad it is, like, they get scared. Because like, fuck, I need to deal with it.
So opening it, I always say it's like someone's life, like all your stuff, all your demons, all your problems are like in a cupboard. And some people's have been chained shut. And like sellotaped and like glued, see that like insulation glue stuff that like joiners use, all that stuff all over it and everything. And it's like, basically, you go like that and you pick a bit off and you can see inside it. You're like, that's going to hurt you when you open that, by the way. That's going to hurt you, man. And depending on how long you bottled that up, man, is going to be...
boiling point, isn't it?
Yeah. So what were I had a funny question. Like, what did you hide a lot of when we first started working together?
I don't know how else to say it, man. Is that you still taking drugs? Nah, mate. I feel like you knew that was the answer that was going to come out, man. Nah, my weekend antics, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had that a lot, and should have maybe took a wee bit longer to say that.
Cocaine.
It's true, but like it is because like I hadn't like changed my identity from that person. Like, I always have a laugh about, like, even on my socials and that, right? I'll do like the wee kind of the postman where you're, what do you call it? You're, I can't remember the name, but you're a certain person. And obviously I used to get called Kino. That was my nickname. And any time I hear the word Kino, it just takes me back to like being just that wee guy.
Cocaine Kino.
Cocaine Kino, aye. But at the start, like that, I was still acting like Kino when I first joined. Do you know what I mean? I was still just kind of cutting corners, fucking about. And like, honestly, the weekend held me back so much. And like, I remember there was just some points where I was like I was texting, like, everything's good, man. And I'm out my nut.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is stuff that you really, really need to lock into. But again, like, what I am proud of from back then is like, there was a bit inside me that just knew something had to change, because why would I be part of Project Level Up? Well, I'm still kind of doing that kind of stuff. But that was something that just, that I held for a while, man. Understandably, but like, addiction's hard, man. And as well, like, I was still eating like a child. Mate, chicken dippers and that kind of stuff, mate. Like, still eating like an absolute child. And it showed in my progress. Like, we were actually looking at, I know it was like 2 years ago I done my first High Rocks now. Yeah. It's just funny, man. Mind I'd done that in a pair of Reebok Nanos. Mind that, you know, the sled will move better if I've got that one. And you're stomping about Birmingham with a pair of like lifting shoes on. Fuck. But I was looking at the pictures of that, and then I remember there was a picture going through and I was doing like the farmer carries, And Jordan said to us, you actually look quite big then. I'm like, but look at my eyes, mate. I'm still grey, as you say, man. And I feel like that kind of grey man only left me, I would probably say, about a year and a half ago to 2 years ago.
Yeah. What was that turning point then? What made that happen?
I don't actually know, man.
It's a compounding effect of being in an environment. It doesn't just happen instantly. But is there any like notable points in your time I was working together?
I think when I became a coach, that definitely had a big factor because I started to actually believe in what I was doing. And then again, when I went self-employed as a coach and I became into like I went into
an identity, isn't it? You have to step up
100%. And I think as well, like the biggest kind of pivot for me when I do think about it, right? And obviously I know everything we've done together perfectly. You could obviously talk about the Manchester Marathon, all that kind of stuff, right? But for me, it was genuinely when I created the extra mile.
Yeah.
Because I had to sit down and go, right, what did I do? What have I done? And that's where the 6 kind of pillars came from. And when I actually break it down, like, this isn't just like pillars that I just made up and all that, like, that'll sound good. This is like
what you live by.
What I do. And it's like pillar number 1's white belt mentality.
Yeah.
And as we've just discussed, that's what I'm all about and all that kind of stuff. And I would actually say, like, when we really sat down and knuckled down about a year ago what the extra mile was, I would say that was a massive shift in identity. Because I was like, all right, this is what we're about. That isn't just, I'm not just Kieran Ingram Fitness, or I'm not just the guy that's turned his life around again.
Yeah.
We've got a cause here.
I love using the example to loads of other people about, like, I think a lot of folk are absolute fraudsters, man. I think a lot of folk, I'm not just talking coaching here, I'm talking like so many folk in roles of leadership, think of that word leadership, that do not have any idea whatsoever what leadership is. They can't even fucking lead themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like their life is an absolute shambles. Their nutritional behaviours, their weekend attics are atrocious, and they've got the audacity to literally be like, I'm a manager. And it's like, mate, you can't manage yourself.
It always shows, right? And like, see when you talk, like, I'm just thinking back to the printers, right? Honestly, dust settles now. I'm like, they actually done a lot for me, man. And I remember when I left them, I was like, fuck them. Like, and I actually do think about it now. I'm like, do you know what? Nah, they actually helped me grow a lot. They did cause a lot of hassles, but
that you just associate that point of your life.
Yeah, that was like, Christ, I could have been working fucking in Sainsbury's and I would have hated Sainsbury's.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I was just a shit show at that point. But like, when I think back to like my manager and several other managers, like, they were a shit show. So the way they managed was an absolute shit show. And they just seen this perceived thing because they were angry. They had to be angry. They had to be screaming that kind of stuff. So again, if you're not in control of who you are, then you can't be in a point of authority.
I need to always keep myself in check when I go through like a moment of like, I have a wobble or there's something with the limelight's on me, or I'm like, am I doing too much of that, right? Even like even if I look at like my message on social media and I'm like, is that too much darkness? Is there enough inspiration in there? Is there enough, like, because I'm like, that's congruent with you guys, and like what I accept is literally like, as much as some folk don't realise it, like, what I accept becomes my standard. Well, I've watched myself do things, and then I've watched like literally like you guys do a similar thing, not in a way that's like, oh, I'm pure copying, but I mean in like you're in product of your environment. So I'm like, I need to be careful what I do. Like I need to be I can't bitch out on things. I also can't be too opinionated to the point that's like it's like righteous. It's like, whoa, I need to be really careful with like I need to make sure that I'm upholding the things that I know that I want, I know that I stand for, I know that I wouldn't get anyone else to do anything that I wouldn't do.
Yeah. I think it is as well, like when it comes to being very like opinionated on something, and when you are of a point of power, it can influence a lot of people, and like they don't even like believe in that, but they're like, all right, cool, like, let's just go with it, let's run with it, man.
Think about football.
Oh mate, massive, man. It's mental. Like football is crazy. It's like,
and that's not even the teams doing that. That's like a fan base.
Some of the things I've seen at Celtic Park, it's brilliant. Like it's hilarious, but you're like that dodgy, mate.
I know.
Fucking 7-year-olds booing Santa off the pitch.
I know.
Just because we're getting beat 2-0 at half time. Like, I know. Like, what the fuck, man?
We're just total. We're total animals, aren't we? Like, but not in a like.
Sheep in our own right.
Yeah, we are.
It's mad.
It's funny. Like it's funny. Like my dad sometimes is always like opinionated with things, and I'm like, you're the puppet. I'm like,
just watched the news, mate, and you've just repeated that. Yeah, I noticed when people do that as well, right? And like, you can see it from Emily would have listened to like, I don't know, like an Alice Hormozy podcast or whatever, right? And you just put words together.
And that's their thing now,
you just say a sentence and you're like, what context is this coming from, mate? Like, that makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? And you just see a lot of people just fundamentally hitting it with shit.
You can tell I can tell who's what political supporter on something that's nothing even to do with like, I can tell what British person, this is weird, I can tell if a British person's a Trump supporter. I can tell but I can tell if it's came from, they've just been getting that from the algorithm, or I can tell if I'm like, no, that person actually genuinely, like, do you get what I mean? There's this like, you can
see the values of the Trump campaign.
You can see where it's like, one's like, oh, you do that because you've got this agenda and you're tied into that. Then you can see someone that's like, that's actually a pretty, like, you've actually decided that based on your own opinion. And there's a big difference between the two, and you can always tell. It's like little somatotypes in it. Like, you know, you get somatotypes of bodies, like what is it? Ectomorph, mesomorph. There's almost like personality somatotypes, isn't there?
You just fall into that.
You fall into this, like, and I think if you don't have that, you're not generating your own purpose and your own vision, then you very, very quickly just shape into someone else's. And I think certain things like, and it's not me saying you're a massive football fan, but I think definitely in Scotland I see a lot of lost men
100%
just become little somatotype football guys, because it gives, that's their purpose. But it becomes, when they're not actually putting their own spin, their opinion into it, it's like you're just lost, man. You're like a wee lost.
And there's like, mate, like, I completely agree with, obviously I'm a big Celtic fan, and like the stuff I'll hear at Parkhead, man, you're just like, what the fuck? It's mental, and it's like grown adults, and you're like, where have you got that opinion for?
Yeah,
it's really like out of order, mate. And you're just like, why is there so much aggression coming for that? Because you support a certain team.
Yeah.
Even on like the other side, it's crazy, mate. But you can take that into everything. What I always find is, see if someone always has the same opinion as their dad, I'm like, you don't think for yourself, mate. And it's like, it's healthy to have a different opinion to the people around you, because you're thinking on your own feet. But see if you've got always someone who don't get me wrong, right? You have people where like they do have the similar opinion of their dad, and that's absolutely sound, right? But see, when it's just complete nonsense, and you're like, you've not even thought about that to yourself. And you do see a lot of people like around about my age and that kind of stuff as well. I think, anyway. Yeah,
you definitely do, man. Can you tell everyone a bit about your OCD? Well, not a lot of folk know that.
Yeah, mate. So like my OCD, man, is like, it's been a part of my life for a long time, to be completely honest. And like, it was very, we didn't know what it was, if that makes sense. It's like, I remember when I was a wee guy, and obviously like all this kind of stuff was happening to me, right? So like my OCD is like, basically it revolves around about the number 3. See, when you actually say it out loud, like I remember I've said it to a few mates and they're like, what? That's pure weird. And like, I get it as strange, man, but like I had to move stuff about like 3 times, like I remember shutting my door, TV, blinds, everything. And this all started from a young age and that kind of stuff. But with my background, with my family, right, we didn't really know what the fuck was going on. And like, my dad's a bit old school. Not bad, like, I fucking love my dad a bit, right? But he was like old school. He was like, I just go to fucking bed. And I'm like, I can't, mate. I just can't. And like, it never really got seen to. But see, as I've got older, it's kind of stuck about. And it really tied in with my anxiety as well. Because I noticed that, I still notice it to this day. I talked to my CBT about it. See, when my anxiety's dead high, my OCD's dead high, you'll notice it. I'll just start doing like, things like that, and just not even move things, but touch it. And basically, like, it's something that used to consume me. But now it's something that I just kind of use as one of my superpowers. I was going to say that. So the reason why I wanted to talk about that is you're also dyslexic as well. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Which is brilliant, because we're bringing out a book. Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because obviously I've known about this like since working with you, and I knew you didn't, for the first while, you never told me about OCD. Like you spoke about it more and went into depth of it. And you spoke about it at the event in January when you done a talk to all the guys and stuff, talking about your journey inside RFA and stuff, from PLU to RFA. But the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because you've never used it as an excuse. No. And like, I'll be honest, mate, like there's some long nights. Like genuinely, like there's nights where like Bali was the worst. See, because I was out of routine. Like, mate, I was up at like 1 a.m. still moving shit about. And like, you'd get really annoyed, like to the point where George was like, right, calm down. Like this is a mental illness. Yeah, like it's not like, I don't think people fucking say OCD, I've got OCD, because they turn cans of beans with their labels facing forward. It's like, that's a natural reaction. You know what I mean? Like, it looks neat. Like that's not OCD. Like like obsessive compulsive disorder. Like, think about like those words, how aggressive they are. Like that is like all consuming, man. And like we're still trying to figure it out. Like not just me, but just like society
Yeah.
in general, man. The biggest advocate for it, and like, the reason when I started to kind of click what it was, I remember in primary school, they done like, what was it, PSE or whatever the fuck it is, that we kind of like social class, and they were talking about like David Beckham, and it was a TV, and what you got, a video that came on, and he was talking about his OCD and that shit. I remember me and my mate Roscoe, he turned to me and went like, that's what you fucking got, because we all just thought I was just strange.
Beckham.
And it Beckham, mate, cheers, mate. It just clicked. But to kind of like touch on, like, there's no point in using it as an excuse. Do you know what I mean? Because then it just becomes another limiting belief. In my opinion, do you know what I mean? Like obviously with my CBT and with obviously the help I've obviously had and got to doctors getting admitted to certain places and that stuff, man, they've offered like different help with it. We've not really got to the bottom of it, right? But at the end of the day, it's what collates to make me, if that makes sense. Yeah. And you've got to take the good with the bad, because I've got this massive amount of energy. I've always got this, like, my head's always going and there's great ideas with it. But the bottom side of that is sometimes I just can't rest. Yeah. And that's the knock-on effect of it.
That's also something of dyslexia as well. 100%. Yeah. And I think sometimes folk are very black and white with these things. Like, I've never been diagnosed with dyslexia, but I am 99.9% sure I've got dyslexia. Yeah.
It's hilarious, mate. To be honest. Yeah. There's like, just, you'll be reading something out.
And it's backwards.
Backwards, mate. Aye. It's like, I always find, see, when I send you like a full big paragraph into a Zoom chat, I'm like, oh, sorry, mate.
I can't. I struggle to read it so much. No, it overwhelms me. Menus, see, food menus, they really, really overwhelm me, man. See, not all of them, but see when they're not, like, they're hard to read. And I just look at it like 5 times, and I just call it a panic order. I call it panic ordering. So then I'd literally come in, and when I've got that, and I didn't know this was a thing, because when I was in the Air Force, I had a high aptitude, but I could never, ever pass verbal reasoning. Like, it would always limit me, because see, the minute someone fucking put a timer on and put a paragraph in front of me, my brain was just like mush. And I can get that. Like, and see, for me, like, Ailey was talking about this before, because Ailey's obviously been a business owner now for 2.5 years. And it's tough being a business owner. And like the first few years, man, you're like a headless chicken, right?
Winging it.
I totally winging it. But there's a lot of things that overwhelm me. And Ailey, I was like that to Ailey the other day. She was a wee bit fried, and I can tell, and I can recognise the signs and stuff. I just said to her, and then she was like, and I was going, I know where you're at. I know that there's so many things that are overwhelming. I went, it'll change. She went, I can remember, Christian, that you used to just have to stop at the side of the road to write things down when you drove, because my brain, it was so, like, it's weird. See, like anything, progressive overload, you become more accustomed to it. See, at first, I didn't realise how much my dyslexia affected my running a business. Like, I did not realise how much it, like I couldn't switch off. Like, and I know that, like, my brain, I've just surrendered to the fact that it's all I think about, right? I'm cool with that, right? I'm totally cool. But I mean, I couldn't, my brain would be 100 miles an hour. And see, even after last week, we launched Rapid and Ripped, which was a free program. I also recorded obviously multiple podcasts. I also planned out the next retreat that we're going to be running, and I also edited a vlog on top of managing 53 clients. And like, we in training, literally like a big week of training. It was a bit of a taper last week, right? And I sometimes need to be careful in weeks like that, because see, when it came to Saturday,
gassed, mate.
My brain is like, I call it the vortex. Right. I can't stop. It's just like vroom, 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 vroom. And like, when I'm sitting there, I actually have to go and lie down, and I have to just go and shut my eyes and not do anything, and I can't stop grabbing things, and it's mad. And I'm like, that, Taylor, that's dyslexia. That's like see, like the way that you're
more than not just being able to read a paragraph.
Yeah, it's not. It's the way that your brain interprets information, and it's. I think for me, I didn't realise it's probably a superpower as well, because it makes me get things done, and it's probably the same for you. It's like,
it makes you as well like a bit more observant.
Yeah.
Because like you have to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've now got beyond the past of dyslexia affecting my ego.
Yeah.
Because like if I need to ask a question 3 times, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm asking it 3 times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of is what it is, man. But yeah, dyslexia is a bit. It's a weird one, but they all kind of tie in as well. Like obviously my dyslexia, my OCD, like my undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah.
Which is apparent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My CBT and any kind of doctor always been like, aye, but I'm not paying $1,000 to find out. Like, that's just that I'm not.
I feel like that cripples some folk, and they end up getting them meds and stuff.
Aye, like
what is that, by the way?
I don't know. Is it like
something like you've not had any medication, you've not this thing, you're autistic now, here's some pills.
Careful, mate. Can't slap. Like, but it's like as well, because like if it is like rattling or whatever it is, man, right? Like, imagine I took something, as far as I'm aware, right? I don't know the ins and outs of it, right? But it's basically a downer.
Yeah.
So like it relaxes you. Imagine you came in and spoke to you like, how you doing, Matt? Good.
Yeah.
Like, just
for that as well, because I don't want to come across here and say, because I know there is different situations, like it's circumstantial as well. I know that there is some people where they've got down to the bottom of it and it's been quite bad, and I know that it can be worse at different stages of life, and I just want to say that, man, because I'm not being like non-empathetic, but there's some people that I'm like, if you didn't ever find that out, man, like
you'd be okay.
You'd be okay. Like you'd be okay, and it's like it really changes.
I think it's being at peace with who you are as well, but
yeah,
because to me, like, I know, like, see if somebody just stepped into like my brain, they'd be like, fuck this. But I thrive.
There's
off
probably
it,
there's probably a lot. There's probably a lot of things though, isn't there, that like we don't know because we don't know, and then in the future we'll then know about them, and then we can characterize what that thing is, and then it can either empower us or disempower us. And for a lot of folk, I think
it's experience with ownership in it.
Yeah, like it's like I always just think about like it's not changed anything up until this point, so why should it change anything? Do you know what I mean?
We're doing all right.
Yeah, yeah, things are going okay. So, what makes you so coachable in your opinion? Obviously, we've touched base on like obviously like you've had that white belt mentality. Like Kieran still is probably one of the most active people in his chat and WhatsApp.
It's getting lonely, mate.
So yeah, what makes you so coachable, mate? In your opinion?
I think it's like, see, I don't always like obviously going back to like where I was, right? But see, from going to the point where like you literally are on death's door, right? And then you get a wee taste, like what we're talking about earlier, right? You get a taste of success. It's like you don't just lose addiction. Like addiction goes into other things.
Yeah.
So I've just got this addiction for like that feeling of success.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, right, if I want to continue getting success, I need to continue to bounce off people that are in front of me.
Yeah.
And that's like the bottom line of it. So that's why I'm constantly, obviously, in the energy chats, man, not the energy chat, turbo chat, sorry, talking about you guys and really leaning in and try to get as much knowledge as physically possible off of everyone around me. But to me, it's like what we were even discussing at the start, like anything is possible, but not by yourself. So to me, I'm like, you need to just constantly have people around you that will bring out that different side in you and they'll challenge you. Because like, we're what, 3 and a bit years coaching a girl, and you'll still tell me to wrap my shit. And like it's needed at times, and at the same token there's times you go, right, okay, like keep doing this, you're doing well and that stuff, man. But if I didn't have that, if I didn't have you and Ailey by my side in that, I'd still be winging it to a degree. It's the difference of needing and wanting. Yes. Do you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of folk are like, you don't need that, and it's like, no, he doesn't need it, but he wants it. And it's like when you've got like, it's the difference is like, if you were training 3 days a week, doing a park run on a Saturday and working a job that didn't create any sort of pressure and you were just happy staying where you were at, you probably wouldn't need us. Yeah. You probably wouldn't want us either. But you want to do incredible things. You want to push. You want to keep striving. You want to test new limits and new barriers. You want to operate. You've got responsibilities. You want to take the pressure off other areas. You want to have folk in the corner. So of course it's going to fucking benefit you. See, when folk are like, oh, you don't need a coach, and it's like, no, but it's the difference between needing and wanting based on your circumstances and how you're living and operating and what your goals are. Do you know what I mean? No, I completely agree with that. And the way I kind of look at it as well, like, does that, you guys know me inside out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how I operate, how I go, and like, you can pinpoint stuff before I've even seen it. And I think that's so valuable when you work with a coach. So there's like guys I work with that I've worked with for over like 18 months now, and I know what they're going to say before they say it. And that's where the value comes into it, because you can be proactive about a situation rather than being reactive. It's like when I was in New Zealand, obviously I had the back end of the Scotland prep. It was hard. I just couldn't fit it in. I was like stressing out. And you knew exactly what to say to me to get a fucking rocket up my ass. It wasn't a case of going, just get it done. It was like, don't know if you'll be able to do this, mate. And I went, fuck you, mate. Can you tell the guys about that? Aye. Because I was going to ask about it. Were you? Yeah. Brilliant, man. It actually was a very pivotal moment in the prep. So we're in New Zealand. We'd been in there for 2 weeks. The second week we were in New Zealand, we were down the South Island in a camper van. And like the South Island of New Zealand, it's no like town to town to town. It's like 4 hours in a town. So to give folks some like context as well, Kieran's, we're going to come on to it, but he ran the length of Scotland. So the prep for this is hard. You're doing like consistent 100-mile weeks of running. Madness, man. And he done this whilst travelling as well. So just to kind of set the scene. Just so it's not, I'm on a holiday. Yeah. So like he done it months when he was in Southeast Asia, then to New Zealand, and running his business and stuff as well. But he basically just completed this huge block of training where he'd done like consecutive marathons back to back. It's really, really hard because obviously you're doing 10 ultra marathons in fucking Bali. Exactly. So like obviously, so obviously going to run 10 marathons in 10 days, 10 ultras in 10 days to run the length of Scotland. But so give everyone like set the scene. What kind of I've set the scene, but what kind of happened around off the back end of Bali into New Zealand? So Bali into New Zealand, man, we went obviously into like a deload for a week, and that was quite good because we were in Australia, and that was like it felt perfect because it was my birthday night and stuff, so it was good, right? But we struggled to get going again because it's not like the legs had it in them, right?
Psychological.
Psychologically, see, just knowing
it's overwhelming.
You need to sacrifice so much again because like me and George on a trip of a lifetime. Like that was the bottom line. Like it wasn't as if, all right, we're going out traveling to go work and that stuff. Like this was the goal for years, and we're in the middle of this, and like I decided that was going to be year I was going to Scotland.
There's no perfect time to do anything, mate.
But there's definitely a wrong time. Nah, fucking no regrets, man. But
no regrets.
So, no regrets, man. But we basically were in Australia. We deloaded for a week, which was sound, man. Then we travelled over to New Zealand to go get my mates Brooksy and Alex. And honestly, like, see, when I wish I took more pictures of Auckland, man. See, when I seen Auckland, I think it was it the other day I said to you, St Vincent Street, but everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
It's garbage, man. I'm like, oh fuck. So we started training again when we were in Auckland. That was okay. That was fine, man. Apart from the night that I got locked out the apartment. I told you that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Maybe talk
called you an idiot.
Oh, mate, honestly, fucking screaming the whole place down. Another conversation for another time, but basically, so when we got down to South Island, this was when like all four of us were on holiday. Like it wasn't even just like me and George were travelling, like Brooksy and Alex were on holiday as well. And we had a camper van and we were driving about the place and that kind of stuff. And like I had like 3 to 4 hour runs like every day basically. And there just wasn't time to fit it in. It wasn't even as if it was like, oh, I don't want to date and that kind of stuff. You're actually going like, where can I fit it in? Like it's all backwards. It was intense, and we were just kind of fitting it in when I can. And I remember like I'd kind of convinced myself, you know, that kind of way where you just convince yourself you're doing good. I was like, I'm fitting in what I can, I'm doing well here. And then I remember just talking back and forth to you, and it was like kind of a bit of push, like the first kind of pushback I'd ever done in years, to be honest. I was like, no, I can't do it. I'd convinced myself I couldn't do it. And then again, it wasn't physical, it was just time constraints. I was like, I'm not sacrificing other people's holidays so I can run this. But at the end of the day, I'd made my bed. So you need to do the work for that, man. And then I remember you went like that to me. It was like the second last day in New Zealand. You're like, Kieran, if you do not hit this next 2 weeks, you will not be able to run the length for Scotland. And I think I can't remember word for word the text, but like I don't normally text. It's normally a voice note I'll send you. And I was like a pure rage text. I was like, mate, I have not sacrificed this amount of my travelling time to then come back and not do this. I don't care if it breaks me, if I need to limp or whatever. It's getting fucking done. And then in my defence from that moment, nothing.
It's not get missed.
And I remember, and I even to this, I'm like, that is madness. I flew from New Zealand to London. As soon as I landed, I started running.
Yeah.
Like literally my legs were, you know that way when you're in a plane.
Puffy,
Puffy, mate. Yeah. It was like actually carrying just fucking lead. Yeah. And I went running in London.
And that's years of experience of coaching, man. And it's like now that we've got a lot of clients, like obviously like when we move that sort of stage of domination, it's like folk want to do things like this and it's like, you cannot fuck about with it, man. Like you can't, like it's like the reason why I was saying that as well, it was like, it wasn't to be a dick. It's like, you've not hit the mileage that you need to hit. And you're like, you physically will not be able to do this. Like, and it's not like sometimes folk are like, oh, they can mentally grit through. I'm like, yeah, you can mentally grit through a marathon. You can't mentally grit through.
What I said.
Yeah.
It's like when you get to a certain point when you're doing like these ultra endurance events, it's not a case of going, right, let's fucking get this done. You need to be at peace with it. You need to surrender to it. And like, you're getting mad. It's like, I called it the agony and the ecstasy of every day. It's like I wouldn't get too excited when I was buzzing, but I also wouldn't get too low when I was like dying. Do you know what I mean? But after that conversation and then hitting that marathon in London, as soon as I landed, I was like, nothing stopping me.
I have that conversation with folk every week. I'm just candid.
You have to, but
you have to say it, man. You just go like that. Well, you either have to do this or you don't do it.
That's it. And it's like even like I think it was about a week after when we were in Bournemouth. And up here in New Zealand to Bournemouth, innit? Brilliant, man. Caravan, I was raging, man. But look at that, it was good. But it was like, I remember just sitting, I think we were just chatting back and forth. I think it was the three of us were chatting. And I just said to you, I was like, in this Scotland run, I'll probably think about what I've done in New Zealand. But see, in 6 years' time, I'll not regret it. Because like you're in.
You have to look at certain points, mate. And I was just when I was in doing the prep for the Keltman when I was in Bali and stuff as well. It was points, man. Well, it's hard. Like I think this is the thing that folk don't realise about like ultra endurance is that it's not just the event. The preparation to be on the start line is so overwhelming. 100%. And like there was points, man, when I was like that, and I got ill from going to a pool twice, and I was like, I can't go here again. Like I physically was just emotionally just like so overwhelmed to be like looking at my week, and I just patched 2 swims. I was like, I can't. Like these pools are disgusting here, and
even what you say to anyone, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, so it's like. You take something Lewis actually said to me, Lewis McFarlane was saying the other week when I was in the retreat, when we were running the retreat, and I said, mate, this week's absolutely rinsed me. And he went, take the athlete out of the environment. And it's basically meaning like if you've got an environment set up for success, like, and you keep changing that environment, it's going to impact you. And if you're doing like big things and really pushing towards it, it's going to impact things. So you need to make sure that you're really ready for that. So it would have taught you a lot, mate. It would have, yeah. So
it was like there was a lot more good from it than there was bad.
Yeah,
but there was some like, see some of the training runs, mate, in Bali, like fuck me, it was brutal. Like it genuinely was like
the worst place in the world to run.
I know, mate. I know. But don't get me wrong, I seen it as a challenge because like I remember Ryan said to me. I say Ryan, we're the same height, but Ryan said to us, I know, Ryan said to us, he was like, nah, you'll not be able to run in Bali, man, you'll be in the treadmill all the time. I was like, is that right? And like, I don't know, I was just like, I'll prove to you, Ryan, mate, because he was like, I only managed like 10k outside and it was just horrible. But like, mate, without fail, every week, I was up 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The only thing that was brutal, man, see, because you never ran with a top on because it was roasting, but you had like your camel pack on. And mate, it would just rip your back up to shit.
Yeah.
Like, you would just come back and like not even like it looked like chafing, like proper, just bleeding.
Yeah.
Just like what the fuck.
Yeah.
Just after Doug's 30 km in.
Yeah.
Carnage, man.
Yeah.
But it's taught me a lot, and like as well, see like when you come up to these big events, like obviously running the length of Scotland, right? But you can take it into anything, your first marathon, whatever it is, right? I had an answer for everything, like everything. Do you know what I mean? And it was like running the back roads at A9. It was like running in Bournemouth again. It was horrible running in Bournemouth, man. Coming up against any hill. Auckland, do you know what I mean? If it was too warm,
that's it, yeah.
Passing it down.
Your undeniable stack of evidence.
100%, man. Yeah. The only thing I wasn't able to handle or wasn't equipped for was that fucking wind on the first day.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, that was horrible.
North of Scotland wind, man.
It's horrible, mate.
It's awful.
39km/h winds.
Yeah.
Head on.
Yeah. I put Cape Wrath in it.
Aye, mate. Yeah. Aye. It was horrible, mate. I think we just came out was it Golspie? We came out of? And I was like, no Golspie. I can't remember the name of the place, man, because Golspie was the second day, but it was the same on the first day. And like, I remembered starting my second leg, and I was like, I've got another 15k. My third leg, sorry. And it was like batting against, like my heart rate was up at 170. Yeah. It was like 7-minute kilometers, and I'm like,
what's going on?
It's going to be a long 10 days, man. But again, like, see, I've never had that mindset, like, approach to something, and it wasn't as if like now everyone talks about look how big this is. That never actually came.
Yeah.
I was always just like, I'm at peace with this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what I need to go through.
Yeah.
This is happening. As much as the wind was horrific, right?
You need to take the option of it not happening off the table.
Yeah, that's it.
Because if it's there, man, it's going to be tasty.
It's going to get bigger.
It's going to be a tasty option, man.
It's going to get brutal, man. But you need to set, I think, see when you're doing something like that, you need to set wee markers.
You do.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you were one of the markers when I knew you were coming in day 6. That was my second marker, Connor.
That was a great day. I really enjoyed that.
That was fun, mate. I really enjoyed it, man.
Pitlockery was lovely, wasn't it?
I know, mate. I want to go back to it, man.
Yeah.
I could have just chilled there. But it's running to be done, man. But it was when I knew I had Johnny and Connor, then yous, and then Josh. You know what I mean? Connor was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant, man.
Hey, he's flying now.
He is, mate. He is, man. He would have been more equipped now.
Yeah.
But it was...
you need to go and do those things. You need to go and...
He was on, I never told him, but I knew it was shit.
Yeah.
Because I knew we were going to cross bridges and all that shit. And I was like, this is going to be brutal, mate. And I knew the hill that we were going up, and it was like a hill that went on for about 3-4k.
Yeah.
And like, his eyes were bloodshot, mate. I was
like,
I don't know, mate. You're gone, man, but he got through it.
I love when you go to something and you just see the level.
Yeah.
I love when you just see a standard, man, and you're just like, a big slice of humble pie, man.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I quite liked it as well, because like at the end of the day, right, a wee stroke of your ego, you're like, these are fit boys. And they can't handle it. It was even in the last day, right? The last day was adrenaline, right? But I had my good mate Downey and Josh, obviously, in the last wee bit with us and all that kind of stuff, man. And like, it was the second leg, and they were toiling, and I was away in front, and just because I wanted it done, I was like, boys, hurry the fuck up, man. Let's get this done, man. And then we pushed through. But it's a testament to the prep.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line, man. It wasn't that I had a superior fitness or anything like that. I just done the work.
Yeah.
And that was it.
A lot of folk, how'd you do that? And how'd you do this? And
work.
Yeah. It's just grafted, man.
It's like as well, man. Like I remember, it was so funny when I came up with the idea. And I thought you were going like, right, we'll build up to it, we'll do coast to coast. I went, we're on left Scotland. You went, right. All right, cool, we're doing this now. And then like we mapped it all out, and I was like, it's cool, man. Let's fucking do it.
So you just need to like draw it and map it back. The way it's different. Like you need to look at where's somewhat like, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do things, but there is like there's let's say for example, someone gets into running, they've never lifted a weight in their life, they've got no oomph, their fitness isn't that good, and they're like, I want to run an ultra marathon, right? It's good that they're ambitious and audacious to do that, but you'd probably be like, let's spend like a year building you up here. Let's get you like fitter across here. Let's get you a bit stronger. Let's do this for like this many months. Let's do that for there. And then next year, we'll do like 6 months so that we can get there and do it, because there's a big difference between doing something and doing it well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just,
I was talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like, I probably would have got a wee bit of hate off the back of it.
I seen it, the one for the Great Scottish Run.
Aye, so many people would have been buzzing off the back of it, which is good, right? But see, if you've got skin in the game, mate, and you didn't hit what you wanted to hit or anywhere near that, it's not a success.
Yeah.
Just because you've got a medal doesn't mean that whole venture was a success. There's corners been cut, and that's why you never got to where you wanted to be.
Yeah, I would say the events, like the algorithm that makes everything all make sense. Like, see all your work you have done or the work you haven't done. On the day of doing that, it's like the algorithm in your brain goes, oh, like, I know how to be faster, or I left money on the table there, or see that few weeks where I kind of took the piss a bit, that's what cost me that. Like, it's like the event is like the cherry on top that then makes all the work that you've done make sense. So all the stuff that you haven't done or all the stuff that you have done, it makes total sense. So for me, it was like that one there when I finished it, I was totally satisfied. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, everything was done. I hit exactly everything I needed to do, and I'm content. The week before, I'd done the pro sim, but then actually when I done like an event in June where I was just in an absolute, I shouldn't have probably done it, man, but my body was in tatters. I wasn't content because I was like not satisfied with the way my body performed the day. So it's like you start to read between the lines of like why, and then there's like times before where I've like good few years ago where I'd done something I wasn't satisfied with, and I was like, but I didn't do the training for it. So that I'm more embarrassed than satisfied. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I completely agree with that, because obviously, like, I've done things where I've just butchered it.
Yeah.
My first half marathon, man, that was just like, ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was really bad. But a lot of lessons from it, and it's like, to get a touch on with people, like, see when people don't hit the targets that they set out to be, and say it is a running event or like whatever it is, right? They'll look at that day and go, oh, well, this happened, right? I felt my hamstring there, this, whatever it was, right? But you're like, at the lessons aren't in that 2 hours of you running. The lessons are in the fucking past 12 weeks. Or whatever it may be. That's where you actually find where the cracks were.
Yeah.
It wasn't just on that specific day. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, and they kind of continue to do the same stuff over again.
Yeah. Because
they're looking at it from that one specific day.
But that's racing, man. That's like challenging yourself like this. Like, that's the point of it. Like, folk will go like that. That was hilly. I'm like, yeah, it's hills in it, but that was the Glasgow 10K course. It has those hills in it. Like that.
Glasgow, mate.
That's it's not flat. Like, it's just like, it's like, oh yeah, that was hilly, wasn't it? It's like,
yep.
Yeah, it was. Like, it's like, but that was the Glasgow 10K course. Oh yeah, but I done this other one that was flat. It's like, yeah, but that was that one. That was different. Yeah. Oh, like, this happened and my leg was here, and it's like, it's so easy. Like, see that morning when I woke up, Ailey was like, because I've had a good few races this year that just haven't went to plan. And Ailey told me after, she was gutted because I woke up, my legs were fucking killing me. And I just was like, cool, as well as. That's the one for, like, every time I've had stuff hasn't got to plan, I wake up and I'm like, I just surrender to it, and I just go, right, I need to make peace with this, because if I don't make peace with this, I'm going to use it as a reason to back up. And see if my calves weren't so, could I maybe taken 30 seconds off? Maybe. But I didn't. Do you know what I mean? I did what I did, and it's like, it's about what you do in the day and your effort. It's your attitude and your effort to be like, did I give it my all? It's like, if you didn't give it your all, you're probably going to be using reasons.
100%. I think that's a massive one as well, is like attitude. Because like, you'll talk to people and they don't even realise it, but their attitude's just shit.
Aye.
Everything's pure like doom and gloom, like, oh, and you're like, mate, see, if you just like perked up a wee bit, looked at it through a different lens, life would look so much different for you.
See, now that I was talking to you about this, see, now I've been coaching for like 8 years, and I've had clients come and go, and people come back, and people I bump into, and people I coach. I sometimes meet folk after I've seen them 3 years, and I feel like going, are you still fucking saying that?
Aye.
Are you still, like, literally, like, are you kidding on? Like, what's been going on? Oh man, just loads on. And I'm like, what a way to introduce, to say hello to someone.
I know.
I met a guy in Asda a wee while ago, and I spoke about this in one of my calls, and it was like, I went to Asda in the Monday afternoon, and I went on I can't remember, was it Sunday or something? I met this guy that was a former client of mine, and he was the most negative vampire ever. And see, when I seen him in Asda, I actually was like, oh no. And then he just spoke to me. The first thing he said was, he just told me about someone that died and something. I was just sitting there going like that. I have not seen you in like 4 years, mate. Why are you telling me this? Like, I'm not saying, like, I just get to this point now with folk where I'm like that. Like, I've heard everything. Like, I've had so many clients. I've had clients that have passed away. I've had like everything bad has happened, right? That you could imagine, right? Like, and now I've actually got the conviction to say to folk when they tell me like the reason why X, Y, or Z, and it's maybe this. I won't say it the first time, but see if it's like the third time.
Yeah, like,
so, and I go like, look, I just stop them, and I say it with so much certainty, and I'm like, this is going to keep happening to you. You're going to keep getting shit happen to you, and you're going to keep fucking using that as the reason to cop out or bitch out of the thing that you know you need to be doing. Suck it up and fucking deal with it, man. Like, you are the biggest limiting factor in your life. And it's when it keeps happening. I just see it with someone. I was talking to Taylor about it, and I was like, because I met someone that I used to coach, and it was like 3 years later, and I was like, I didn't say it to them, but I felt like going like that. Are you still saying that?
So they need a shake.
You actually wanted to go like that. Like, it would have been rude of me to say that. It's not my place to say that. But I was like that. Fucking hell, man. Like, wake up. Like, that's 3 years. If that's the last time I seen you and I knew you well, and now you're here and it's still this. God, what's been the gap between there?
What's happened?
What's happened? Nothing. Probably nothing.
That's that, man.
Do you know what I mean?
It's quite scary, but as well, man, because like when you do think about it, like I've been in that position where you just like the woe's me kind of.
I slap folk, man, when they do it.
Honestly, mate, and you're like life's harsh, mate.
It's not meant to be easy.
It's like the same for everyone, man. Everyone's got, it's like, what was it we always say? Is like everyone's got their own problems, man, but your problems are the biggest problem because it's your problems.
If everyone put their problems in a big pile, you wouldn't want anyone else's.
No, would you fuck, man? Do you know what I mean?
You
like,
just like, give me my mind back.
Yeah, as being coaches, man, like you get an insight to a lot of people's lives. And like I was actually saying this to one of my guys like yesterday, and had to be catch up and that stuff. I was like some of the conversations I'm having with people, I'm just like, fuck, I feel sorry for these, man. There's a lot going on. But then you'll have like, so we work with obviously 32 people, right? And you'll have some people that will like hold on to it, like fucking grip it for dear life, and that's their identity as such. But then you've got people that have like what I would call like really life-changing shit happening, and they show up and they get on with it.
Yeah,
and that's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Because like if you go into like everyone's closet, right, there's always shit there. There's always going to be stuff. I don't know anyone that's not had anything bad happen to them. So see using what's happened to you in the past as an excuse or a reason to then down tools, fuck about, and ultimately hold you back. That's on you. I
said to, Lucy Mains.
Yeah.
And basically I sent Lucy a message the other week. She's done the Lisbon Marathon the weekend. And she basically, a lot of her prep didn't go to plan and stuff. We're going to get in the hot seat next. Haley's telling her today, just in case you're watching this. And we're talking about it. And she basically was just having a bit of a hard time. The prep didn't go to plan, lots of things. And she's had a lot of things happen this year. Like, and I won't go into it and stuff. And I went like that. Lucy, I wish I could just share your chats with everyone about how much you've had challenge you this year and how you've just cracked on with it. You're a total inspiration to yourself, and you need to know that like I've coached so many folk, helped so many folk, and so many folk would have just like kneeled down, bent over, and rolled up in a ball, and you've kept going. You just sent me a voice note back crying, like just purely.
But it's because like it's like, see when you get recognition for being that strong, a person, like it kind of gives you that permission to like have a wee break, have a wee cry and that stuff. Because it's like, as much as like you get a mirror held up to you when you kind of get a finger in that stuff, right? But see when you get a mirror held up when you're doing insane,
well, good, when
you're showing up when 90% of the population wouldn't, that hits home and you go, fuck, I'm doing all right here, man. So no wonder, man. Do you know what I mean? And especially obviously when Lucy started running, she was just like very like 5K and that kind of stuff, and then going on to a marathon. We were talking about this, man, when she was like, I'll never run a marathon. Done it. Which is insane, man.
Yeah, it's mad. So man, it's been a hell of a journey, mate, and obviously this is kind of that, like, really I've really enjoyed talking today and stuff, mate. What was your biggest lesson from the full sort of prep of like not the prep, but the full sort of run Scotland, or what was the sort of biggest lessons from it?
Biggest lesson from it, there's a lot to kind of take away from it, man. I know it's something that you always kind of say, right? But it's like, if you're going to do something, like surrender to it and just accept that it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, man. But as well, what I massively learned from it is the joys in the journey. Like, see, when I got to like the 10 days, it was a buzz, it was an adventure. There wasn't any, obviously when we were talking like the agony and ecstasy, right, there was parts that I was like, this is tough, but I'd already done the work. So like, if you do the work, you will reap the rewards of it. And I had 10 days where me and Georgia drove about Scotland in a fucking camper van, just doing mad shit.
The driver?
the driver, man. Fair play to her, man. Honestly, driver, doctor,
Honey G.
fucking wee Honey G, man. I still don't know why she saved it.
I don't know.
Because I, like, obviously remember, was it the British Got Talent lassie, Honey G?
Yeah.
That's why I pure saved it. I just to annoy her. Like, this was obviously years ago. I mean, George had been together for like 9 years. And then, like, you texted her what's happening, Honey G, and she was like, why is Christian just tested?
So to give people some context, like me and Ailey coach Kieran's partner Georgia as well, and her name's saved as Honey G in my phone.
Aye, but only like I've only got it saved on my phone.
Yeah, like because Ailey added them into the chats when she came over from EBE when we merged business, and then obviously Georgia came over, and it's just set as like Honey G, and I didn't save it as that.
It was when because we were in the car and she just went, Christian just text you saying what's happening, Honey G, and I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? It was brilliant. But no, like, can I go back to like the point of like my biggest lesson with it, man? It was just like the joy is in the journey.
Yeah.
And that's for me, like there's a certain buzz about going to places you never thought was possible. And it's tough, it's hard, like there's a lot of emotional barriers that we broke through. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Every part of that was worth it. Every memory I've got for that, like, is insane. Like, even like the last day, like I remember, and I just like it was funny, man. Like I woke up, Josh was already away getting showered and that kind of stuff. Georgia was putting stuff away in the camper van, and I was like, I need to just go and get myself washed and that stuff. And I just started greeting.
Yeah.
Like, it just hits you and see like that emotion.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And then like you'll see it in the vlog, man. But running like 3K with my dad.
Yeah.
Just I kept on saying that to you. I was like, just get me. Like obviously it was maybe 5K with my dad, but couldn't hold it. It was the
yeah, we joined the program, man.
I know. But honestly, man, honestly, my dad would be hilarious getting coached, man. But to be fair, that 3K was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, the last day was the most hilliest fucking day.
Yeah.
Right? But like, see, just
like 500 meters of elevation, wasn't it, in the first 20K?
First 10K.
Yeah, in the first 10K.
Mental, mate. It was like, what was his name? Johnny Davis.
Yeah.
His worst day was like 600 meters of elevation. I was like, mate, that was average for us, mate. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Mental, man. But I like see just having that moment where in my head I was at 5K with my dad. That's what we need. Like every day I was training, I was like, this is what it's all about, man. And then we got to it, and like I was like, well done. Like that kind of way where I just kind of sat back and looked at everything that we'd done over the past 10 years as a whole, and I've just went, fuck me, Kieran.
Yeah.
And see someone who's got like a bit of a past, does hold on to a lot of like not dark energy, but has that history. See, actually being able to step back and going, fucking hell, well done. It's like people go to me and go, so you ran the length for Scotland. I'm like, aye, mate, mental on it. Like, instead of just going, it was good, it's like going, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just, felt very accomplished, man.
Yeah.
And I think that feeling of accomplishment, it'll stick with me forever.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's awesome. I can relate big time, man. Like, I didn't really get that from a young age. I didn't really play, I played sport and stuff, but I wasn't that good at it. Wasn't that interested and stuff. So I think, like, for me, my 20s were about proving to myself. Like, not saying that everyone done stuff like that when they were wee guys, but like, I felt that probably more folk had that backing. That I was like, I need to go and do these things to actually prove that to myself. And you hit the nail on the head, mate. Like, stuff like this, it's like when you take on like the likes of a big challenge like this, they are a quest. It's not like doing obviously like something that's maybe like in a shorter time frame, or like training for a high rocks or a half marathon. They consume everything, right? But stuff like this is like, it's an adventure, man. It's like a pilgrimage. Yeah. Like, it's actually like you need to just surrender to everything. It needs to become like your identity. 100%. You know what I mean? Like, you need to like literally be like, I need to think about this every day, because if I don't, like, it's gonna run away from me, man. It's gonna get on top of me, man. So
even like see just some of the places I ended up because of the prep. Like, you're in Bali, you know what Bali's like, right? You get to a certain point up the hills that it's no tourists.
You see any dog orgies?
No dog orgies, man.
I've seen a few.
I remember I came down an alleyway, but man, one popped out, the other one popped out, and then the other one, and there was about 10 of them, and they were all just looking at me, and then looking at each other, and I'm like, nah, fuck it, we'll go that way and just turn around to me. It's fucking horrible. There was one, but I ended up like fucking runner's belly, right? And I was like, I need to go to the toilet, and I seen a hospital, and I was like, sound, it'll be clean. Bali hospital, right? Sound. Mate, I don't know if I walked into a psychiatric ward or something, man, but it was just like mad noises. I'm
pure picturing like the hospital. And you ever seen that film, The Impossible? The tsunami.
Yeah, mate, that's exactly what it was like, mate.
Aye.
But see, like, I mean,
after the tsunami hit it.
Back, mate,
I'm not laughing at that,
bit. I know, mate. I know you're laughing. Shut. But I went into the toilet, and there was only a security guard that scene, and there was just this noise that kept coming on. I don't even know how it was, like a chainsaw or something. I'm like, fuck's sake, man. And then there was like blood on like the doors and it. I'm like, oh my god, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then fuck it, we're in here now anyway. I was like, need toilet paper, mate. So I had to use my briefs. And I'm looking at my watch going, oh, fuck, man.
How have I got here?
But I was like, how is this happening, man? And then obviously had another 20k, man, just in my shorts.
I sometimes laugh, man, at like the situations you get yourself into, man, when like
Fitness, but
yeah. We nearly get chased by a pack of wild dogs in Spain recently, man.
I remember seeing that, man. It's horrible, man.
Yeah, like actually, like
that,
genuinely, like fearing for my life. Like, and I'm like, how have I got? Is this how it's going to end, man? Am I going to get a German Shepherd bite me in the neck?
Funny that when you do kind of go through phases, and you go like that. This could be it.
Yeah, like how have I got here? How have I got to this point that like there's a dog chasing me?
I'm on a retreat and I'm not going to end up back at the villa. I'm going to be like
how have I put myself in this position, man? It's funny. I'd been watching that movie, 127 Hours, with
the one where he cuts his arm off.
The one where he cuts his arm off.
Oh, mate.
And I've been laughing about how the guy was an idiot for not taking his phone. And I never took my phone out, and we got trapped by the dogs.
Mate, exact same thing happened when I got locked out in Auckland.
Yeah,
went down to get something for the car, man. It was like 2 a.m. or something after we went to see the All Blacks.
Cut your arm off.
And I was like, but mate, I was actually standing outside, no socks on, pair of my football shorts on, and just a top, and it's like -1 degrees, and I'm like, ah, shit.
This is how it ends.
I was like, at one point, I was like, sound. Do you know the landlord? What she said to me when she got a hold of Brooks and that? She was like, why did you not go a walk? I'm like, to where? Like, what did you expect me to do? She was like, you should have just left the flat block instead of standing outside it and went a walk. I was like, it was like fucking New Zealand's equivalent of Skid Row. Didn't they? I'm like, no. You know, mental, mate. But always keep your phone on you.
Yeah, definitely. But mate, thanks very much for coming on the podcast. It's been great to chat. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, guys. As always, please rate the podcast. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe. Go and do it now. Go and do it right now. And obviously give us a rating on Spotify as well. If you want to follow Kieran, you can find his details for his Instagram in the show notes. He's actually doing, have you got a vlog for the Run Scotland?
Yes,
or?
It should be coming out in the next week.
So he's going to have a vlog for a vlog.
These guys work.
I know how these guys work, man. Videographers, fuck's sake. So yeah, that creative crowd in it, man. I'm going to start a videography company. I've decided it, man. But yeah, so if you want to find Kieran, you can find him on Instagram. Go and give him a follow. But mate, thanks very much for coming on. Really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys did too.
No, thank you, mate. Thanks for having us.